Hi everyone, you're time traveling with me back to Christmas time of 2021, and I have just finished reading the first batch of letters and infographics for this specific course. And I have to tell you, people really struggled and the grades were a little low. So I thought you might time travel with me and I could talk to you really quickly as my last act of 2021. I'm going to talk to you about the top 10 mistakes I saw in these projects so that you, future student, can avoid them. Number 10, don't forget to include your analysis of the rhetorical situation. So you turn this in Module 4. You need to turn it back in with the paper. There's a spot on the rubric for it. Number 9, choose a really specific audience. I don't want any of this to whom it may concern stuff. Even if you do an open letter, still have a targeted audience in mind. So better is to say that you're writing to your city council, your government representatives, your property owner, the school board, like have somebody, a specific person, the president, somebody specific. If, however, you choose to write an open letter, you still need to know where you would publish this and who would be reading it. And that is going to pop up in that rhetorical situation document. So if I were going to write an open letter, am I sending it to the Arizona Republic or AZ Central, or am I sending it to the Atlantic and hoping to get published? So you still need to know who your audience is. Okay, easy stuff. You're writing a formal letter probably to somebody that you don't know, so there should be a colon at the end of the introduction, the introductory statement. If you're literally writing a friendly letter to somebody that you do know, a comma would be okay, but most people aren't in that situation with this project. Number 7, cite your sources in your letter. If you don't want to have parenthetical citations in a letter, because that feels wrong for the audience, right? Then you should cite it in the signal phrase. According to so-and-so in her article titled blah, 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 and then you could have your quote or your paraphrase. But you do need to cite in the letter, and if you don't, you're getting dinged really hard on evidence. Cite your sources in your infographic. Here's an example. So in 2021, I posted this in an announcement. So I'm hoping that I'll share it with you again. Remember to share it with you again, but here's a link. This is just a snippet out of an infographic and targeting teachers. So it's an infographic that I was the audience of. But you could see that they cite their sources in the infographic. They're using APA style. You've learned MLA style. But if you know APA, it'd be fine. But you can see that it's cited inside. Also, you need to include references at the end of the infographic, so number 5. And don't just paste in a link. You need to cite it in MLA style. Here's an example. That same infographic, at the end, there's a references section. And again, they're cited in APA because they used APA within the infographic. Number 4, weave in evidence from 3 sources, both in the letter and in the infographic. I would expect that those sources would overlap, but if they don't, just make sure you have 3 in each. Keep in mind that yes, we're all talking really seriously about your real world audience, this infographic, how to make one, but remember you're actually doing a problem solution project. So you need to expand on that problem, like explain the problem, and you need to present a solution. So the content is still really important, and that's a big part of your grade. You may have noted that there is no required word count in this assignment. So either you've developed your ideas in that problem solution structure or you have not. And that's part of real world writing, right? Are you getting your point across? Is your purpose clear? Use enough words to do that. Number 1. The letter and the infographic must both have a clear purpose, as I just mentioned. I'm looking for a really clear ask. What is your audience supposed to do? Can you provide them with more resources or places to go? You need a clear call to action. We have an assignment where we're asking you to share your call to action. I need to see it in the letter and the infographic. So one last tip. Before you submit, use the rubric to score your own work so that you're not surprised at how your instructor is scoring you. So that's a little tip from me to you. And finally, don't forget that you have resources on campus. I'm not going to read your letter and your infographic to tell you exactly what to fix. This is your time to shine and show me what you've learned. But there are supports on campus, like the Writing Center, both in person and online, Brain Fuse, and of course, peer review. Use each other. All right, that's all I've got for you. I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see your final projects, future students. Okay, see you later.